information about the Negro Leagues and his history behind it. Before we get started, make sure you guys go follow Black Baseball Media on all social media outlets. We are going to bring you the best. Just a little bit about black ball and why you came to the west side of Chicago.
Man, I'm going to start with the last question you just answered. I came to the west side of Chicago. I went to Triton Community College, played football at Triton Community College in 1983. But I came back to the west side of Chicago out here on North Avenue for Ernest and Black Baseball Media and what he's doing for the young people. Negro League Baseball is bigger than me. The business of Negro, the first game was played in 1859 during slavery, 2 black teams. Then the business of Negro League Baseball started in Chicago in the 1880s. So we're just historians, and we are the gatekeepers, we are the griots, and we are the storytellers for that next generation. It's been wonderful. I'm beyond excited. I'm beyond excited about what he's doing, Ernest, and what we're getting ready to do. It's all about the next generation. And I tell young people, I met Ernest. Let's go back to this story, Ernest.
Yeah.
In 2021, I was laying in my bed. I couldn't walk. I was doing rehab, and I sat there in my bed, and I created designs. I created where black ball is at now. People saw the sterling silver. I met Ernest. He's a testament. It was 100 degrees in Fort Worth, Texas. They wanted to buy the jackets off the rack. Yolanda Gatewood was there. She is that fashion designer for Black Ball NLB, which started in 1994. The first apparel company, clothing, memorabilia, and accessories in the Negro League Baseball Museum in Kansas City. So at the HBCU tournament, my fraternity brother, young guy,
what fraternity is that?
I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So Princeton, he's a member of what fraternity you a member of?
It's Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
It's Panhandle. We up in here panhandling and barnstorming. So I'm in Texas, and Black Ball booth is right here, and he went to Arkansas Pine Bluff. So the Arkansas Pine Bluff people set up next to Black Ball that day, but they didn't open up. They was like, Mark, we want to be next to Black Ball the next day. I said, no problem, I'll make sure. Make a long story short, another entity came in. They were fighting to get next to Black Ball. I said, hey, these people. But anyway, I met this young brother, Black Baseball Media. So then, throughout our business entities, it came about. Alonzo Pate said, hey man, I got this guy, has Black Baseball Media. So in my DNA, I'm like, oh, this sounds familiar. So me and Ernest met at the HBCU baseball tournament in 2021. Now let's go in real time, Major League Baseball and everybody else out there. What he was talking about then, he's doing it now. He is Coach E. He's out here in the community. He's living it. Black Ball NLB. Yeah, we started in 94, Peoria, Illinois, Northwoods Mall in 95. It's always been about the community. It's always been about our ancestors. Coach Brooks is still living. That State Park Lincoln School, that Little League coach that everybody in the 60s and 70s couldn't wait to go play for. Same way with Coach E. That's what I want to talk about. How can we get Major League Baseball and the community to start helping? You know, there's a windfall of money out here. You know, every community got COVID relief money. A lot of communities don't know what to do with the money. We have a lot of African-American mayors and politicians. This man and Black Ball NLB and Black Baseball Media, we have something to do. We have great programs and great structure that we want to bring to the inner city of America.
So Mark, you know, we were talking about a little earlier when we first got talking to set up. We were talking about the business acumen of Root Foster, and you know, shout out to the Foster family. You know, let's keep that name going. Root Foster is the greatest baseball mind alive. Well, the greatest baseball mind too ever graces with his presence. But we were talking about the impact, the business impact that the Negro Leagues have on Major League Baseball. Can you expound on some of those for some people who might not know what all the Negro Leagues has brought to Major League Baseball?
Man, I was doing my research, had to reboot, and everybody likes going to night baseball games. Everybody likes going to the baseball game and drink beer. I'm in San Francisco. My office is in Silicon Valley. I'm on the train. The train is full with San Francisco Giants fans. I'm like, okay, I'm from Illinois. We do a lot of things in Illinois, but they're on the train, drinking wine, the kids right there. So when you go to a night baseball game, and you go to a baseball game and you're drinking alcoholic beverages, that's all from Negro League Baseball. From the night lights to the beverages and playing games on a Sunday. Just refresh my memory today. There was no Major League Baseball games back in those days on a Sunday. It was forbidden. But we saw the economic impact. Sudan McMove, born and raised in Peoria. He was Elijah Muhammad's milk boy. He used to work for our fraternity brother, John H. Johnson. I think he used to work for the Ryan store. He was a Forex trader. He always tells me the story. After church, what did his mom do? He was already dressed to impress at church. But on that Sunday afternoon, they went right to the Negro League baseball game. That's what they did right after church in every African-American community in America. So let's fast forward and let's talk about the economic impact that Ernest asked me about. Major League Baseball saw that we were making money on a Sunday by ticket sales, by beverage revenue, economic impact, hotels, restaurants, everything that drives a community. Negro League Baseball drove that economic opportunity and entrepreneurship in our community. It was bigger than baseball. You know, you had a lady, she passed off as being black. She's in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, Effa Manley, but she was actually white. Her husband was black. She owned the team, the stadium, the hotel. And as a kid, I had to read about Don Newcomb. The old people used to be like, boy, read the newspaper in my school. So I'm thinking Don Newcomb is a white guy. You know, Don Newcomb played for the New York Eagles under Effa Manley. So now we get all this free agencies and you just can't take players. So that strong sister, Effa Manley, she said, y'all just can't take my players and not compensate me for it. So let's fast forward. Major League Baseball, the statistics are great. But let's bring some expansion funding to Mr. Ernest's program, to Black Ball NLB program. So we can not only get the kids swinging bats and throwing pitches and catching the ball, till we can get them some history and we can get them turned on in another way. Well, they might not play baseball, they can be an electrician. They can be a truck driver. They can be a carpenter. They can be a plumber. They can be in a trade that's making money right now. Because we know a lot of our young people don't want to go to college.
Facts. And the reason why I want to, start with that question is because, at Black Baseball Media, we have our Chicago High School Baseball Classic. We just, extended out to Detroit. Had a fantastic Detroit High School Classic this year.
Man.
For 4 high schools there. So this is going to year 4 of the High School Classic. And this year we should have 5 cities. Chicago for next year, 2025, Chicago, Detroit, Seattle, San Diego, and Charlotte. So this is something that, I'm an open book. I always said that we've taken a page out of Ruth Foster's, book and literally, bringing this to high school baseball. And the reason why we started the High School Baseball Classic series, because we know travel baseball is king right now. We know you have to play travel baseball in this scene. We get that. But the community feel and the economic improvements within our community, it starts at the grassroots level. And we know high school, like if you have different areas, you mentioned you went to Peoria Manual, right? I went to Hyde Park. And, right up the road is Proviso East. Everybody within those communities go to those high schools. So now, with our High School Classic series, we have black-owned vendors, we have black DJs, we have the mom and pop shop who sells cookies, empowering them to come make your money within the game of baseball, something that we can have and we can own. And I'm gonna cut a little deep right here. I see a lot of entities honoring Negro Leagues, right? We see a lot of programs going on, but I challenge everybody: how many black-owned companies are really putting on the events or honoring the legacy? We love it, right? But to your point, we talked about this a little earlier too. We had a lot of good conversation off the camera before y'all tuned in. But the one thing that I see the disparity of, yes, it's a 6% of only African Americans playing the game of baseball. But then, if you dig a little deeper, that number goes even lower to how many black-owned companies are getting access to equitable funding and capital. So what we're talking about right now with Black Ball was, started with is the business acumen, the business mindset of how do we empower the community economically. And anybody knows without funding and economic stability, it dies. Look what happened with the Negro Leagues, right? Jackie Rock integration happened. Perfect. Nobody's saying nothing against that. So don't get it twisted. That's perfect. But if you notice, Negro League started in 1922, correct?
Negro League Baseball started in 1920.
1920. Sorry, 1920. See, it's a hick story, but 1920. Around the 60s, early 60s when it collapsed, correct?
About 1959,
59.
you had the last Negro League Baseball All-Star game in Chicago.
Okay. So 59, right? So you got 30-some years of, man, this is great. 47, correct, is when Jackie Robinson got called up, and let's say 12 years after that, there's no more Negro Leagues, right? Because of the integration, not because of that. Let me take that back. It's not because of the integration, but when we lost our talented black ball players from our league, and we started taking our dollar and going to the major league ballparks, guess what? We had crippled, I'm not saying that Major League Baseball did this on purpose, but unintentionally it crippled the Negro Leagues, which then crippled our communities, which then crippled the parks, school system. It was a downward trickle, thank you, effect on it. And if you look at it, 59 to stop, the 60s for Vietnam, right?
Man,
right?
You're absolutely
so
right.
Now we're going down the actual rabbit hole of when did our communities be disenfranchised? And I always say, if you look at the pattern, when the Negro Leagues was around, we weren't great, but we was all right.
We had some stability.
We had some stability. The Negro Leagues collapsed, and now it's holy hell. And I say this to say, we talk about knowing the history, but knowing the history and not, taking action behind it means nothing. That's why I love what Black Ball is doing. I'm gonna have him talk about the hemp and the materials and stuff, but I challenge everyone to that black-owned business that has something to do with baseball products, man, let's empower them, right? Because it's hard. It is very hard. Because when we need to get out of the mind of being, just saluted, thumbs up and everything, to we need a real seat at the platform. And I don't even say the table. We build our own table. That's what I'm saying. But if 50 Cent just talked about it on the pie, I know this is jumping in all different industries.
Take your time, brother.
He talked about the liquor business.
Take your time, brother. I'm a candidate. I came from selling alcohol at 5 years old at our liquor store in Peoria.
So 50 Cent was saying he went to lobby in Congress for them to step in because the marketing dollars it's just ridiculous. He's a millionaire, saying how less funded a black-owned liquor business compared to a white-owned liquor business. So you only know what's happening in baseball. So, but Mark, tell us a little bit about the actual hemp process and how Black Ball ties that into baseball.
When we met about 2021, that was at the height of COVID. My fraternity brother, who started everything in Black Ball, he called me one Friday. He said, "Mark, it's all yours. You take it and you take it to another level. It's all yours. Take it to another level." He had some health problems. He said, "I always knew you was going to be able to take it to another level." So when COVID hit, we couldn't get in contact with our manufacturers. First thing about Black Ball is quality. My mother, she has Black Ball clothing, jackets and stuff that's 30 years old. My buddy Ron Ruffin, he got Black Ball jackets that are 30-something years old. You went to Hyde Park, Proviso East is up the street. My cousin Raymond Bradley just called me. He wanted 2 Letterman jackets. So I told Ray just a few days ago, Ray, it's the same Letterman jackets that our parents bought us in high school. That's the company that we deal with, and that's the type of quality Black Ball has always been. So when we couldn't find manufacturers that were even doing business, we were in the agricultural business, doing some things agriculturally, and Sudan Mahmoud, he called me one day, it was a Tuesday, and he said something about him. And we were manufacturers, and the green light went off. I said, "Oh my God, hemp makes 5,000 different products. Hemp makes that, hemp makes that, hemp makes that, hemp makes this, hemp makes bricks, hemp wood, hemp fabric." I'm at the NOCO 9 conference, and these people from India, they got all this fabric made out of it. It's beautiful. And then my family in Peoria, we had Ebony Fashion Fair every year, the original Ebony Fashion Fair. And my cousin, Ricky Cannon, back racks building a store. Sudan was talking about it just yesterday. Going back to Negro League Baseball, we were always dressed to impress. And we have a Yolanda Gateway. She used to work for Prada. So people just see me wear the stuff. But we got people behind the scenes. They do all the great work and things of that nature. So we got off into the hemp. So now what Black Ball is working on, and our other companies, our other entities, Think Rehemption, Solar Roof, Pyropod, we're going to have our first hemp processing manufacturing facility. Why? That means we bring that supply chain back to America. We just don't want to talk about what Biden and Harris are talking about in the initiative. We're actually putting it into motion. When the Black Ball, you can go to blackballnlb.com right now and purchase a t-shirt. But when the integration process is fully done, you're going to be able to buy that t-shirt, that Ed Corky Brooks limited edition. It'll be the first one. From that cotton seed to that t-shirt, it's all black, grown from the cotton seed and manufactured. You're going to be able to buy a t-shirt from that hemp seed to that t-shirt. But we are going further. We want our own hemp processing manufacturing facility where we don't have to go overseas to get nothing. It's all back home, the textile capital of the world. When I first started Black Ball, North Carolina still had a stronghold on it. So we need to bring that textile capital back to Illinois. You got Galesburg, Illinois, you got Chicago, you got Peoria. It has always been a hemp capital of the world. I'm at NOCO 9 last year. Guy asked a question. He said, what was George Washington's, our first president? What was his cash crop? George Washington's cash crop was hemp and slaves. It used to be illegal not to grow hemp in America. During World War I and World War II, it was illegal not to grow hemp because everything was made out of hemp. Then you had synthetics come in after World War II, and we kind of got away from it. We just had an event over here at Patagonia in Chicago back in March, and you go to buy something from Patagonia, that's about a 70-30 blend with hemp and cotton. So, like Mr. Ernest said, it's more than just baseball. We're talking economic impact. He always is going back. I'm so proud of this young man and all these young people. He's going back to his ancestors. He's going back to Rube Foster. He's going back to the economic impact. He's going back to, okay, Major League Baseball, you're not just doing this for no reason. You see something economically that you can pull out. Now, as you pull it out, help bring us along. You talk about Black Ball. We've never gotten any monetary support from a bank or any of that. I come from a family that has always owned businesses. You're talking about food deserts and things of that nature. We had our last grocery store was called Aqua Packaged Liquors, right in the heart of Jurassic Park, right in 61605, right next door to the Harrison homes. We couldn't get a loan to expand our grocery store and things of that nature. So just like Negro League Baseball back then, they didn't go to the bank. They had to go to Eddie Jones in Chicago, the big policy man, who was the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had big bank. So that's how our community was. We did for self. Do for self, as Sudan Mahmoud said. So that's something else that we have to start doing. It's not just about Major League Baseball. Like you said, it's not just about what happened in the past and integration and things that is. What can we do right now? First of all, we have to be community again, and we have to share the resources. There's unlimited amount of resources out here for this young man. There's unlimited amount of resources out here for our own hemp processing manufacturing facility that's owned by people that look like us.
Absolutely, man. Y'all heard it first. Hey, this is only part one. I gotta give a huge shout out to AJ Styles Records and Barbershop Salon and Restaurant. We talked about Black owned and power Black owned. Yeah, you see this stuff right here, man. You dedicate. One of the reasons why I'm going to be doing a lot of filming here with our content is because, you know, it takes a village to raise a child, right? So all of us are in this to empower the youth and to make sure the youth have a better future. This guy here, AJ, this studio, kids can come in and record their music, they can do their homework. I mean, you guys can't see it, but there's papers here and computers and DJ equipment set up and all the celebrities around the wall and everything. So we got to give a big shout out. He's one of our sponsors, man, from the West Side. AJ, I love you, brother. Thanks for allowing us to use your space. So look, Mark, where can the people find you at?
You can find me in Peoria, Illinois. You can find me nationwide and globally. You can find Black Ball at blackballnlb.com. That's blackballnlb.com. NLB.com. You go to the Black Ball Caravan. Why it's called a Black Ball Caravan? King Can Mansa Musa went on the caravan and he took everything. So you're gonna get more than just clothing. You're gonna get more. You're gonna get a lot of stuff in the caravan. You're gonna get some black baseball media. You're gonna get some Styles records. I met this young guy today. Phenomenal. He reminded me of a person. He had a young kid over there. I walked in. The kid didn't blink. He had him in attention. And the kid was listening. He did not flinch. He did not act inappropriately. And then whatever he told the young man, he went right over to that beauty salon and got to work. He disciplined. So when you go to that Black Ball Caravan, you're going to be able to just get more than just some clothing and apparel and accessories.
We all here to go to blackball.com.
BlackBallNLB.com.
I'm sorry, blackballnlb.com. Y'all heard it, blackballnlb.com. I messed up the first, I'm sorry. You know, this is organic. You know, stuff happens within baseball, we make adjustments. But thank y'all for watching. Tune in next week. This is Coach E with Black Baseball Media, and we out. That was good.
Great, brother.
Good.
That was great, man. You a coach.